Living in Jamaica can be tough sometimes, depending on where you live and what your circumstances are. Equally, living in Jamaica can be fabulous. Again, it depends on where you live, what your circumstances are. However, there's another factor, and the factor is our perspective and our outlook. And many people say that living in a foreign country gives you a quality life. However, they also say that living in Jamaica give you a quality of life. Now, the two things are very, very different, and we're going to explore how those things are different and look at how to achieve Jamaica good life.
Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Hello, wagwan, big up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Now, on this episode, we're going to look at some reasons as to why you can achieve Jamaica good life, and you don't need a lot of money to be able to realize it either. So here we go. The first one I'm going to talk about is the weather. So when we come on to Jamaican weather, we know that there is normally two things people talk about. You have dry season and you have rainy season. Yep. And when you think about it, though, we know there are 4 seasons within the year. However, it is a lot more apparent in certain temperate countries than it is for us here in our tropical reaches. And when you think about the way in which night and day changes and the drastic change that it has in certain countries, it just makes you stop to think and to ponder on how privileged and prestige we are, knowing that we have such little change in our day and night as we go from one season into the next. And of course, we have to deal with a lot of rainfall, and you have a lot of warmth, the sun, which our body really needs, that vitamin D, and to help us to be fit and healthy. And also the fact of the impact that the drastic change in day and night throughout the different seasons have on mental health of individuals who live in those countries. And I'm just going to show you here this YouTuber who've documented her experience of the part of the world she lives in, Europe, where they have 24 hours of day and 24 hours of night at different points in the year, and the impact it have on them as individuals. Take a look.
It's about, I think it's maybe -6 degrees. Yeah, so now we live in complete darkness, and life continues like normal. Everything is open. I think the only big difference is our flight schedule with the airplanes. Now we get about half of the flights every week. Oh, that was cold. It's so wild that this is a thing, because we're so far north that this is possible, that we get constant darkness for over 2 months. You keep thinking maybe like, oh, it's 9, it must get lighter. No, it doesn't. So I shall see you at 11 o'clock.
In the beginning of polar day, the sun stays lower towards the horizon, and you still have the feeling of night being different from day. The light is different as the sun dips lower in the night. But now, there's no difference in the light. The days are bright 24 hours of the day. Midnight is sunny. It's a very strange experience. During the polar night, we are left in the dark feeling quite tired, and in the polar day, the body is energized and ready to go at all times. Sleeping is a little bit more difficult, as my body has no idea that it should go to sleep. I mean, the sun is shining, so we should be up, right?
Although this change that you've seen is rather drastic in comparison to what a lot of temperate countries experience, it's nonetheless a significant change that these countries have to go through, and the people who live in them live through, and it gives rise to a high case of what's referred to as SADS, which is seasonally affected disorders, and it affects people's mood, it affects their mental health, and it has other impacts on their physical health as well. And so in Jamaica, this is not something we have to even begin to think about, because we are not in the very least affected. The biggest shift we probably have in our day and night is maybe half an hour. So in the peak of summer, we might have sunset happening after 6, and in the winter months, we might have sunset happening in the late after 5 to 6 time frame. So half an hour to 1 hour is as most a drastic shift that we have. And so it doesn't even begin to affect us in the way that it affects other people in these countries. it becomes even more of a challenge, especially when you're melanated and your body was not designed to live in environments like that. Number 2 that we're going to talk about is the pace of life. Hey, if I tell you in Jamaica, people are like, Irie man, just relax and chill, take it easy. Those are the expressions you hear. When you're in other countries like the UK, and if you go there and visit for the first time and you see people running, you'll probably be looking and wondering who's running after them or where are they running to, because they're moving so quickly. And when I know, for example, people who've returned from the UK to Jamaica, people usually look at how they move and the quickness with which they move and think that something must be wrong with them. You know, even the other day, my daughter was coming from school, and she said a police officer stopped her, who was just doing their normal police beat within the town area, and saw her walking so fast and stopped her. And so he was saying to her, like, where are you rushing to? What's happened? You know, he probably genuinely thought that something was wrong with her, like maybe she's afraid of something and rushing and running away from whatever it is, or it's that something is so urgent that she's having to rush towards it. She couldn't understand why the officer is stopping her and asking her why it is that she's walking so fast, because she's thinking, is he thinking that I've done something wrong, or that I'm being dishonest about something why I'm walking like this? And I had to say to her, but do you not see that the other children don't necessarily walk that fast, and when you are walking with them, they normally have to say to you, wait up. So the pace in which people move, very different. When you think about places like the USA, and you hear people talking all the time when they say, oh, time is money, is how they refer to it, in their way to say that their time is so valuable, you need to use it quickly, because if you're wasting it, you're denying them the opportunity to be able to go and make money, basically. And so we see that in those countries, this is the way in which the pace of life goes. And Canada is a mix of the two things. You know, people move swiftly, and people also feel that, you know, their time is this valuable, you need to utilize it well. And of course, Jamaica could do with a little bit of taking on some of the ideas of how valuable time is in the terms of the productivity side of life sometimes. However, they also take on the way at which you should use time for your well-being, and that's a core part of the way in which they take their time to do the things that they need to do. Number 3 is relaxing and chilling in Jamaica. It provides an idea of restfulness and good experience in the sun. And so of course, while we're saying in the sun, most Jamaicans, unless they have to be out in the sun hours between 11 and 3, you're not seeing them out unless they definitely have to be. In the majority of people tend to go out early in the morning and get what they need to get done, and then they go out in the afternoon and get what they need to get done, because they don't want to necessarily be out soaking up too much of that sun in the daytime. However, it doesn't mean that they are not relaxing and chilling and enjoying life, and trying their best to make sure that they're making the most of their experience that they can harness in the sun. So you see families going out on the weekends or in the afternoons, going to the beach or going out to do different activities together. And on the weekends you see family grouping up and they're going off somewhere just to have some R&R, which is an excellent thing that is being infused into the Jamaican culture, because guess what? As Jamaicans, we deserve to enjoy our country too. We have all of this beautiful, lush, natural resource around us for us to benefit from, for us to bask in, for us to enjoy, and for us to have a good time and add to the longevity of our life through utilizing it well. So we too deserve to be able to have fun in the sun. And so of course they're making their very best use of these facilities and having fun here in the sun. And number 4 about the good life in Jamaica. One of our subscriber comes on and makes comment about suggesting people going to other places in the world and saying about the Jamaica being full, as she's making her jokes about it. And in fact, I do see her point about wanting to ensure that the people who are returning to Jamaica are people who are going to come and add to the value of Jamaica and build Jamaica up, and not just people who want to come back and put all of their pressures and stresses on the country. And another person who highlights about the fact that they don't see why people constantly complaining about the Jamaica in the way that they do. If they see a problem, then go and find a solution and fix that problem. And so these are some of the comments that people do. Nonetheless, we're going to talk about the population and the land habitation. The population of Jamaicans living in Jamaica is a maximum 3 million. And there is probably more Jamaicans living in the diaspora than there are living in Jamaica. And the fact of the matter is, even if all of those Jamaicans who are living in the diaspora should return to Jamaica, Jamaica would still not be overpopulated, because majority of Jamaicans live in the corporate area of Kingston, St. Catherine, Portmore area, which is also in St. Catherine but designated to becoming its own parish soon, and St. Kingston and St. Andrew area. And so a lot of people live there, followed by the St. James Montego Bay area. And so the majority of Jamaica population is in those areas. And Jamaica has at least 70% of its land that is not inhabited, and because most of the habitation in Jamaica happens along its coastline, so along its coastal parts, most of the hilly regions of the inland of Jamaica is not as populated as other parts of it, and therefore Jamaica has more than enough space for all the people who want to come and inhabit Jamaica to do so, providing they are doing so with an intention to add value to the country. And so if that's something you want to do, we have so much space to just be and to move around. So many suburbs exist. People have half an acre, a third acre, quarter acre lots in these suburbs. Some of them are even larger lots. So in terms of Jamaica's population and Jamaica land space to inhabit, we still have a lot of land space that still isn't inhabited. And so that adds to the good life that we are experiencing here on the island. And coming in with the population and the land habitation is also the food that we are able to grow on the island and have easily available and accessible to us, because of the fact that we aren't cutting down all of the different areas that should be growing fruit forests. We're not cutting down our fruit forests to build up condos and other accommodation for people to live and to occupy. So we still have access to those fruit forests, and we can have these healthy, nutritious food to eat to add to our health, our youthfulness, and our well-being. So it brings a good life balance in the country. The quality of life, or the goodness of life in Jamaica, will only continue to get better. Social and moral decay is happening everywhere, right across the world. And for those people who do believe in Bible prophecy, will recognize that this is going to be a part of what life is going to be if those Bible prophecies are indeed true, and if we believe that they are. Now, for somebody who believe that they are, then I can understand a little bit more. I don't agree with what is happening necessarily with the decay, the social and moral decay that we see across the world. However, I'm understanding that these are some of the things that we're going to see happen as we grow closer and closer to the last days. And so we cannot expect that Jamaica is going to be any different, especially the fact that we are exposed to so much North American influence in our social interaction and the things that we are exposed to for our entertainment. Inevitably, life is going to continue to get better in the way in which people live and the quality of life that people are able to afford as Jamaica development forecast continue to build out, because people are going to find that things are going to be a lot more accessible. That adds to their comfort and their convenience, and they're also going to be in a position where, because of the influx of businesses that are operating on the island, it means that the finances that are required to enable people to access these conveniences are going to be more readily available, as income will inevitably increase, and the minimum wage or basic wage that people get will definitely be built out and increase significantly. And so enjoying Jamaica's good life from now is a privilege, and at any point people come here all the time on their vacation just so they can do exactly that, enjoy Jamaica's good life. And so for those of us who have the privilege or the opportunity to come here on vacation and enjoy it, make the best of it. For those of us who have the privilege and the opportunity to return to Jamaica and live here and do business and raise their family and enjoy it, also make the most of it. And whichever one you fit in, that's fine. If you are able to return at this moment, that's good. If you are not, that's also good. Work on your plan and enjoy a good life in Jamaica, how and when you can. We're heading out and heading to the North Coast. We're getting some North Coast in for the year. Since we're going to Puerto Seco Beach Park. Puerto Seco Beach Park. That's where we're going. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yes, I hope my kids don't drop out in the water.
I don't think they will. And I'm looking forward to it because we haven't really, even though we've driven through the North Coast bit, we haven't really done any North Coast event. So I'm hoping that this will be the
Your
event.
first parsing of a truck.
Yeah,
First overtake of the day.
yeah, we're going up Penn Hill, and that was
Penn Hill.
Yeah, that's what it's
Penn
called.
Hill.
Yeah,
Nice
it's called
one.
Penn Hill. Penn, Penn, and that was a trailer, and so we needed to get around because it was safe to do so. And notice he pulled onto the near to the hard shoulder so that the traffic that was queuing behind him could get past. So yeah.
We just came across the waterfront.
We can see North Coast.
That's cool.
Very much so.
So where are we turning into now?
I just turned onto here because we're going to. I need to now check out which direction we're going. I think it's a right, but I
So
want
you're
to
going
stop
to
and
pull
double
over?
check. Yeah.
That makes sense. So you can know your way. So let's check. We're here. And it's locked because we're half an hour early. What a surprise for the first time in forever. We're here. So I guess we're going to be waiting out here for the next half an hour.
Well, we got here and we were early because we wanted to make sure we head out and set out in good time so we could get here because we know the route we were going to take. And although it says on the sat nav that it would take us 2 hours, or just shy of 2 hours, many people said, oh, the roads, you're going to need to leave out ahead of time and give yourself more time. So we set out about half an hour earlier than we initially intended to set out. And so we got here about half an hour earlier than the opening time. So it was good that we were able to balance our time. So it definitely did take us the 2 hours to come in, but then because we were early, probably we didn't have as much traffic to contend with. So that was a good thing. And somebody decides that they're going to catch up on a little bit of nap. So you might be able to see them trying to get a little bit of nap in over there. So she's trying to grab on a little bit of nap whilst we're waiting, and we're just going to wait for a little bit and then get on in. So how are you feeling?
Excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. So now we've managed to get in our North Coast adventure. We're doing something on the North Coast, so it will now complete our island journey. We've done the south,
Any people here?
we've done the east, we've done the west, and now we're doing the north. And yeah, we're the
So the plan is at 9:59 we're racing to that line because we will be the first in there. Oh no! People are now trying to steal teeth.
so literally we were sitting out there, the security guard opened the gate and said, oh, you know, we open at this time. And I said, yep, I understand.
We need to leave out soon.
And then they said, he said, okay, but they will let us in. However, so we got in about 10 minutes before the 10. So we definitely need to get going. It's a good thing that we are here on time. So
And
we
no
will,
food and drink or coolers, so we have to leave our nice snacks.
yeah, I will see if we can bring our water bottles, but otherwise we'll have to leave anything else we have in the car. And she's decided to do her little hack with it to keep it cool, wrapping it in foil. So hopefully we'll see you on the inside. I'm looking forward. It was raining a bit this morning, but it's warm up a little bit, because look, you can see that it's gotten warm. We'll see you on the other side of the gate.
Bye bye. The Jam Fam family. We're Irie, living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. We're Irie, living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Thank you for staying here with us on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fam. It was such a privilege to find this lovely, cozy location to sit in and do these videos with you and sharing some of my ideas and my perspective on life in Jamaica. Thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate you and we value you being a constant part of the Jam Fam tribe. Bye for now, and we will see you in the next one.